So, how do you want us to see you?
in the way that they can. In the way that because people see you based off of their own perceptual filter, and it has nothing to do with me. I didn't give them their genes, I didn't give them their upbringing, I didn't give them their current attitude. So I could be the nicest guy, and someone has had a bad day and thinks of me as a terrible person, right? So how do I want to be seen? I want to be known for the good work that I've done, and I think that narrative, and I continue to do, and I think that narrative will continue to um, tell its own story.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of King Crush Thursday, the series where we highlight and uplift Black men because, frankly, not too many people are doing it. My name is Val Gay, and I'm super excited about this brother today. He is a really cool dude. So, his work lies at the intersection of innovation and social impact. And he's also a CEO, a founder who has built an ecosystem that has been built for professionals of color. And his name is Mr. Senzwa Ntshepe. Hi, Senzwa.
Hi Val, how you doing? Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you are here. And your presence here is really helping us to put another wedge in the window of the very narrow and myopic view of Black men.
Mm,
Oh, you are viewed even globally, I would say. We see that there are very few stereotypes that get and narratives that are attributed to Black men, but we know that there are as many narratives as there are Black men walking the planet. And yet, there's still not enough. There's not enough realism, if you will, if you will.
hmm
And so, my goal ultimately is for a young king who may or may not have positive Black male role models to come to this repository, see the same six questions answered by all these amazing, positive, successful Black men, and hopefully find guidance there. And then for the rest of us who are neither male or even Black, to be able to come to this repository and have our minds expanded so that hopefully we can have a more, I don't know, equitable or just and or open, if you will, society where you can be free to be who you are. And so I'm so grateful that you're here to contribute to this narrative. And I'm going to get started with the first question, which is, what does manhood mean to you?
so one, Val, I want to thank you for putting this on and actually really highlighting the many, many, many stories of Black men. Like you said, it's often the nuances of Black men often are not traversed, especially in the public conversation. So the fact that you're bringing this to light is a real treasure. So I really, really appreciate that. And thank you for having me be a part of this. Manhood. What does that mean to me? It is a simple and complicated question at the same time, right? Manhood generally is looked upon as being, a protector, provider, someone who lays a foundation, someone who lays a structure for others to walk on. And, that has been a part of my story and a part of my definition of manhood historically. But, as I've continued to age, manhood looks like a lot of things to me, right? Manhood looks like there's this concept right now of the very warm man instead of the, very cold and calculating man, right? A man who is very emotionally in tune and very emotionally fluent and can connect with people and still be firm and steadfast when needed be, but then also be very compassionate and warm and caring, and knows how to blend those two things really well. Um, you know, um, I manhood for me looks like using those powers of consideration um, to lay a foundation for other people to achieve their best. Um, and I mean, my personal story. I grew up with a single mom here in Philly. So manhood is a construct that I've had to put together myself. I didn't have a consistent figure to teach me what that actually looks like. Um, so I had to pick and choose kind of the best aspects of what I saw from friends, other family members, mentors, colleagues, etc., and kind of construct to see what does that mean for me. And while that has been a long and arduous process, it definitely has been the most valuable one, because no one, I created for myself. And which means that it is specifically curtailed to who I am. And it's not something that someone else prescribed to me. So my manhood looks like um, create using the powers of strength, kindness, and compassion to lay a foundation for not only myself, but for others, the people I care about. And my list of people that I care about is quite long, um, to continue to walk forward. Um, collectively. I think that's probably the best way to say that.
It's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you so much. And you teed up the second question, which is who and or what is important to you?
Um, so so I define myself as a kind of a conduit for collective progress for Black people, Black and brown people, marginalized people in general, but specifically folks who look like me. So what is important to me? Justice is very important to me. Equity is very important to me. Um, on uh, a broader level, right? But if we look at concentric circles of care as it gets closer to me, of course, my friends, my family, the people I love, are all important to me. But then also myself, right? And that's something that when we're defining manhood, we also have to make sure that we prioritize, right? Um, because sometimes manhood can be perceived as endless sacrifice, sacrifice of your mind, sacrifice of your body, sacrifice of, you need to produce in order to be a man. And, sometimes you just need to be. And in order to be, you need to prioritize your health and your happiness. And I've had a lot of Black women teach me that. Black women are really good at making sure that they are happy and healthy and everything together. And they will text me, they're like, you need to go for a walk. You need to go to the gym. When's the last time you ate some spinach? Um, black woman, woo, hey, keep it together, boy. Um, so so those are all the things that are important to me, right? Myself, because if I can't take care of myself, then I can't take care of all these other people that are important to me. But then as it gets wider, my friends, my family, my broader community, and then again, folks who identify within the notion of suffering, and folks who have suffered the same way that I have a very special compassion for. Um, so, yeah.
You got it. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you so much. So, how do you want us to see you?
Um, I don't care how people see me. At this point, I'm grown. No, it's funny. I've been back and forth. My role is very public facing. I'd say that. I interface with a lot of people all the time, and I go back and forth with. I can't control how people view me, but I can do good work and continuously do good work and let that work speak for itself. So how do I want people to see me? I want people to see me in the way that they can. In the way that because people see you based off of their own perceptual filter. and it had nothing to do with me. I didn't give them their genes. I didn't give them their upbringing. I didn't give them their current attitude. So I could be the nicest guy and someone has had a bad day and thinks of me as a terrible person, right? So how do I want to be seen? I want to be known for the good work that I've done, and I think that narrative, and I continue to do, and I think that narrative will continue to um, tell its own story. And the people that are in tune to that narrative will pick it up and really appreciate it and keep it going far after I'm gone. And the people that aren't. But I'm really no longer interested in how people see me. I'm just interested in doing good work that speaks for itself.
That's great. I hear you.
Hmm.
Thank you. So, question 4 is, what is your epic dream?
Mm, epic dream. It's good. Um, all right. So I'm a visionary type of person. Like that's just what I am. And much to my detriment. Because there's always a there's always a benefit and a drawback of being a dreamer, right? It's like, all right, you have this epic dream, but can you actually get it done? Um, right now, again, as an entrepreneur, as someone who's building something, and what I'm building essentially are ecosystems across the country, specifically that cater to Black and Brown professional needs, right? How do cities attract, retain, and develop their Black and Brown talent? And how do we create Black cities where folks feel comfortable, where folks feel like they can advance professionally, if folks feel like they're connected socially, where folks feel like they can give back, work with universities, work with local high school students, all this other stuff. So I'm building ecosystems that way. So my ultimate dream for that is cities across the country, where I can just go and I can feel comfortable as a Black person. And I feel like I can thrive as a Black person. I mean, across the world, right? Um, that is my ultimate dream right now. I I say I'm in the belonging business, and I know what it feels like not to belong for a litany of reasons, and Black people for centuries know exactly what that feels like, and it's not a great feeling. So my job is to mitigate that feeling by creating a structure and a community that supports you. Um, so yeah, so my dream is for Black people wherever they go to have their identity and their cultural style validated.
Mm, I got it. Got it.
Mhm.
That's excellent. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
So, you've been answering question 5 all along implicitly, but I'm going to ask you explicitly.
Okay.
Mr. Senzwa Ntshepe, who are you?
Ooh, this guy. I'm just a guy. I'm just a guy who's trying really hard, tried his best. Um, I mean, who am I? Ooh, it's real existential. I am a guy who I'm a very reflective guy who reflects on the human condition often. The human condition of people who have similar experiences that I do, and then tries to create solutions to reduce the suffering of people that look like me. I'm a guy who cares too much and sometimes has to mitigate that and pull it back a little bit. Um, I'm a guy that leads with empathy. Um, I'm a guy that uh, just wants the work that I do to make people even just marginally better off. If I can make a whole bunch of people marginally better off, I'm happy. Um, yeah. I'm happy. Like I said, what is that? A conduit of collective progress. It sounds real nice. And it is. But essentially that's I mean that's what it is, right? Yeah, I'm a guy that wakes up every day and just tries. I try and I push the needle forward and then, I ask for help when I need it. Because then I often do, because nothing happens by yourself at all. Everything happens through the people that believe in you. Um, so yeah, I'm just a guy that I'm a guy that tries and will continue to try until it's done. I say I'm the soul of a writer and the spirit of a fighter. So yeah.
I love that. The soul of a writer, the spirit of a fighter. I love that. That's awesome. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. And here we are already at question 6, which is there anything that I should have asked you that I didn't, or you wanted me to ask you that I didn't? In other words, what did I miss?
I think that's it. I think I think I give you a good context of where I've come from, who I am. I mean, where I've come from is a very long story. And just you know, someone once told me to. So the whole spirit of a fighter thing is like not only do I run an organization, but I also do teach like MMA on the side and stuff. So like I actually do fight people. So but someone told me they were like, you're very gentle for someone who like punches people in the face. And they were like, oh, you must have gone through a lot of war to be that gentle because kindness is a choice. And probably kindness is the best choice that you could make. Um, and to be honest, I think that's the choice that's most reflective of who you are. Um, so when I look at people, when I evaluate people, um, intelligence, that's great. But a lot of that stuff is, you couldn't control being smart. You're just smart. Um, you can always enhance your intelligence, of course, but kindness is a choice, especially for people who go through the mud. Um, and that's probably the biggest marker of strength that I've seen. So I'm a person that like really, really likes kindness. Like if you're kind, I'm very impressed. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you do. I don't care. Da, da, da. Like you can clean floors and clean toilets. If you're a kind person, I think you're so much cooler than the, CEO of X, Y, and Z. So, besides the person that likes kindness, I like my friends, like my family, um, you know, and I'm just here to do the work. Pretty simple.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you. I love that kindness is a choice. I believe that. I also believe that embedded in kindness is optimism.
Sure.
And that I believe is a badge of courage because
Mhm.
so many awful things happening. And just like choosing to be kind, it takes strength to do
Yep.
it, right? Because it's just too easy. Yeah, you almost got to like swim against the tide
Yep.
to do it. So thank you for that as a reminder. And I'm so grateful for your presence in the world and the work that you are doing, both in Philadelphia and around the world. It's just really beautiful to hear. So I honor you, my king. I pray that your epic dream absolutely comes true sooner rather than later. And I'm just really thankful that you are here today to chat with me.
Of course. Of course, Val. Thank you so much for having me. This has been a wonderful conversation again. Thank you for your work, for highlighting us, and would love to continue to support your work as well. So anything you need from me, let me know.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And stay right there because I want to thank the audience for joining us. I hope that you enjoyed this conversation as much as I did. And if there is a successful and positive Black man in your life who you want to hear from or see highlighted in this forum, please click the link below or in my bio. Fill out the nomination form and we'll take it from there. That's actually how we met Senzwa. And so I'm so happy and grateful to the person who nominated him. And so I often say, or I try to say it all every week, that success does not equal what someone does for a living. Save it being legal, as long as it's legal and not hurting anybody, I don't really care what the brother does for a living. Because that's not a true marker of a man's worth, if you will, particularly in our society and in our community. However, like kindness, the content of one's character is a choice, and how they show up in the world and what impact they're having on the people around them, starting with the nuclear family and spreading out to the community writ large. Those brothers are the ones that I also want to contribute to this repository, to have a broader picture. And again, for our young people to see the myriad of options that they could go down and learn and grow, and not just what they see on TV or in the media. And so please stay tuned next week for yet another amazing king. And please remember to spread love and have a great day. Thank you so much. And Senzwa, thank you so much. It was really awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Val.